I mean, but if you, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Oh my God!
Let's-
Here we go.
Hi,
I thought we was
hi,
gonna start.
kittens. Hi. Good evening.
It's the end of Hot Girl
is
Summer.
Wednesday,
and,
September.
Oh my God. We are having
Wednesday,
this
September
drama
4th,
already again.
2019.
Yes.
Welcome to the BGKH show. His name is Dominion, and my name is Epic. Welcome to episode 67 of the BGKH show. With Dominion and Epic. It's exclusive on Vox Power 373. So but since I'm supposed to be doing the intro, but it's okay. But the B normally stands for the blacks, the G stands for the gays, the K stands for the kinkies, and the H stands for the humans.
We need to change
on this side of the table
to the D BGKH show for the dramatic black, gay, kinky humans.
Ooh, and I knocked off almost caught, then knocked the mic off. I thought I knocked the mic off.
So wait a minute, let me make sure I understand this correctly. You're gonna add the D as if there's no drama in your life?
Oh, there's no drama in my life. I stay drama free like Mary J. Blige. and on top of that, you know what else? There's no hateration in this dancery.
But your asymmetrical inverted bomb is not shaking like Mary's does.
Not at all, but I got that Mary.
That was a blowout cut with just shaking. It was like a updated version of Mo from Three Stooges.
Yes.
Like it's a Mo cut. Mm-hmm. Like, ugh. Anyway. Hi, kittens.
So how was your week?
Well, first of all, my week was good, but it's not even about me. Welcome back, bitch. You was already down there hanging out with Dorian Corey.
I know. Hurricane Dorian Corey, tried to get the girls together.
What's up, Billy?
And when we got there, so here's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I was with Papa Urs, Savant, and Orion and Cal. So the five of us checked into our lovely little chateau. It looked from the outside kind of like a broke down version of the Golden Girls house. So it really wasn't broke down at all, but it needed no. I don't care for her. I mean, I'm fine with it.
Right. No, I just, it's okay. Go ahead.
I'm fine with either. I mean, we'll make it work.
Right. That's another off-air conversation.
Right. But, so, the house was
I have to film you all in on that because my wheels is turning now. We'll come back.
Draining.
We're going to come back.
Just draining.
Yeah, we're going to come back.
So, the house was nice, but it needed about maybe $5,000 to $10,000 worth of like cosmetic work. Like, they needed to paint, they needed to do a good real scrub down. We met the housekeeper on the way out, but in Orion and Cal's room, there was like a bottle of Gatorade under the bed that had gotten left there. In my bathroom, of course I got the bedroom with the bathroom in it, because, there was like black, long brown hairs on the tile wall in the bathroom, and I was like, "Girl,
That is not your color.
That's not my color at all."
You are like 50. You are like 58 or 59.
Exactly. And so it needed a little work, but the pool was cute.
Okay.
The pool was very cute. The hot tub did get very hot. It didn't bubble though. So like they have normally. So normally when you stay at
how the hell you have a hot tub that heat up but don't bubble?
It had jets. So, there was definitely jets, and the jets were strong, but it didn't, like, bubble.
Okay.
So it wasn't a jacuzzi, it was a hot tub.
Okay, well, that's fine.
But the thing is that, normally when you check into a house, there's, like, a cute little book that's all typewritten, and it gives you, like, the instructions for how to, operate the pool and the hot tub and, the lights and everything.
Or somewhere on the wall next to it or something.
No, it's in a book. It's always been in a book every time that I've stayed at a property, particularly in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
This one, the book was handwritten. Half of the pages were handwritten. Then the pages that were typewritten, so it was like, to turn on.
No, Slide. We don't do those type of establishments. Let me not speak for him. I don't do those type of establishments.
I would never do a place where there's a dead hooker under,
But I'm just saying. But anyway, go ahead.
We stay in the gayest and classiest of neighborhoods. It was called no.
Oh,
it was called Coral Estates, Coral Shores Estates.
See that we gonna.
But this is Fort Lauderdale. No, so this was almost like a gated community. So it had the pylons with the gold lions and everything, and the houses were really nice. Right. There were houses ranging from on the low end of maybe 150 grand all the way up to like $500,000 plus.
Listen.
So it was cute.
Anywhere where there's a Heights, View, Terrace, or Gardens, it's a project type of situation.
It was not the project at all.
When you translate that into Florida and you say estates,
no.
If you say estates or manor, there's some seediness going on with that.
No,
so that's I'm just saying.
It was a lovely,
it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying.
It was a lovely abode.
Okay.
And it was a great location from which to launch our Fort Lauderdale adventures. We got to hang out with our brothers and a couple of the pledges.
Okay.
And we had lovely
Deep South, what's up?
Naked pool and hot tub time. It was,
Boss.
you always got to get a place that has high walls.
Well,
so because the moment we got into the house, clothes came off, time to get in the hot tub.
That was like ball soup.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like ball soup. Okay.
So first thing we got to do is go shopping.
Okay.
All I needed to get was some fucking distilled water and mixers for the liquor.
So which you could have picked up at a CVS or something.
But I got to get distilled water, so we went to Publix because sometimes they were already out when I passed by the CVS.
Okay.
So anyway, so we get to the Publix and it's me, Orion, Savant, Papa Urs, and Cal or Carl. Bitch. The first clue was so I got the basket, right? And then Savant grabs a little like hand basket and then he trades that in for another basket. And I'm like, I look at his husband, Papa Urs. I'm like, what's happening? What's going on here? He was just let it go. They picking up all of this stuff and all of this food, like food, like cooking food, like eggs and bacon and sausage and bread.
Let them get it all.
And I was like, what's going on here? He was like, well, we need, and then Savant is one of the smartest people I know, but like sometimes he can be a little childlike in his response because like he would say stuff and then like he would catch the look on me or Papa Urs' face and how a little kid doing something.
Are you trying to say he's like a natural blonde? Is that what you're trying to say?
It's a little bit.
But
I love you to death. I love you to death. But and so I'm sitting there like, why are we getting all of this food? And he was like, but we gotta have food in the house. How are we supposed to eat? I was like, we're on vacation. We go to restaurants. Like
if that man
that
was
literally, and so that was what it came down to. He was like, but I want to cook for everybody. I was like,
the kitchen
as
is wide
long
open.
as all I have to do is be awakened by the smell of bacon.
Listen.
Then
the best ways to be waking up. The best way to wake up is with bacon in your nose.
Exactly. So Saturday morning, they got up and fixed a lovely breakfast. Let's just be clear. We had bacon, we had cheese eggs, we had honey biscuits. They cooked pancakes as well. They had coffee. We had juices and everything. So it was a 100% lovely breakfast.
Okay.
Raisin toast. I mean, everything was wonderful. But the other days we went out to eat. But then. So, Savant never lived through a hurricane before and is always a little bit of nervousness, right?
Okay.
So as it became clearer that we might get hit by the hurricane, now even I started to get just the tiniest bit worried, mainly because like if the power goes, because, you can't go to the restaurant if
right.
all of the power goes out. And then we sitting there like, what is we go? You know what I'm saying? Because
dry ice and a bucket.
A quick digression. Remember when we had Snowpocalypse and Snowmageddon back to back?
Yes.
And I remember I took my ass to the grocery store because it was over. The first one was over the weekend. So I remember I took my ass to the grocery store on Thursday. I was like, girl, this ain't gonna be nothing. I bought myself a couple of steaks and like 2 chicken breasts. Some potatoes to make some mashed potatoes. I was like, girl, let me just have a fat boy meal and sit in here and enjoy myself. Bitch, between Snowmageddon and then Snowpocalypse, when I got back home that Thursday, I did not leave the house for 13 days.
Yeah.
I am glad that I usually cook in large batches, but I was pulling shit out from the back of the refrigerator.
Listen.
You know that chili that I made like 3 years ago. So that was flashing through my mind. Even worse, that's not my house, so I don't have like a backup of food. So we was buying, extra stuff. It was like in case we were stuck there for a couple of days. We trying to find flashlights, and so by the time we did it, all the other nervous Nellies in South Florida
had left.
No, bitch. It was like no flashlights.
Oh.
We went to like 3-4 different stores before we found flashlights. Luckily, we had bought water. Then all of that shit ended up being for naught because, it's sort of, first of all, shout out to all of our friends in the islands, especially the Bahamas, because they everything that Hurricane Dorian didn't do in Florida, it did there. Yeah. And 100 times worse. And see, I also wasn't worried because I lived through Hurricane Katrina. I was on the 22nd floor of the Biscayne Bay Marriott, watching that glass flex in and out. Because remember, what happened was when it came ashore right across Miami. So I'm literally watching as, and you can, when you saw the eye wall, you could literally see the eye wall and this blue sky and sun shining. Wow. And that took like an hour to pass by and that shit started shaking and rattling again. Wow. So I lived through all of that. So I was like, I'm on the ground floor, but now I was like, well, bitch, we right by a canal. The shit flood, so yeah. I was like, maybe this might be.
The best place to be is in the middle of a tall building, like in the middle floors, like not.
Yeah, not by the glass though, because I'm an architect, so all I saw was that glass shattering. And the shattering part isn't the problem; it's the me being sucked out. Of the hotel, because that's what happened in New Orleans, because it was like a category 3 when it made landfall in Miami. Then it made it to the Gulf, strengthened, and it slammed into New Orleans as a category 5. And so there were these buildings, there were these 90-degree angles. And so like wind will cause a vortex effect, and it blew all the glass out. And then so you would see furniture from the 12th floor that had been sucked out of the hotel down on the ground. And I was afraid that was going to be my body there. So I was a little nervous, but it ended up being nothing. The worst thing that happened is that there was one time when we were in the pool and it started raining. And so we just gathered under a palm tree and was like, well, we'll just wait. Because the rain squalls never lasted more than like 5 minutes.
It's like, it's hot again.
The way everything went down was like, if no one had told you that there was a hurricane, you would have just thought it was just a rainy day in Florida with intermittent. You would have just thought it was, intermittent periods of sun and rain in Florida. The wind never.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike. I got the gayest outfit for your wedding, baby. You're going to live.
Wedding.
ASOS. That's all I'll say.
Look at there, Mike.
Oh, this is awkward. So anyway, we went out. We went to George's Alibi, right? So we're sitting there having dinner.
I've been to this place. I cannot remember it to save my life.
It's the place with the swings. It's in the gay neighborhood. It's like it's in the parking lot, so there's like Alibi and a couple of gay ass stores, a Thai restaurant, another 2 or 3 gay ass stores, and then on the L there's like a big club called Hunter. It used to be called Boom.
I gotta see.
And on Thursday night, so whenever I go to Fort Lauderdale, I always make it so that I arrive in time to go to. He said, "Don't look at him like that."
Like what, Mike? Like what?
It was, they have these quart-sized mason jar Long Island iced teas for $3.
Okay.
So anyway, we're sitting there having our iced teas and chilling, and this guy keeps looking at us. And he was looking at me, and he was looking at Orion.
Okay. And
I was like, hey, how's it going? So he takes that as his cue to come over. And then he's one of those. He was a totem, more on the autumn side, but he was trying his best to top Orion at the table. Meanwhile, I'm like, you should just come back to our hot tub and, get in the tub and take all your clothes off. And he's like, he went from over the course of the night, I can't do that because I'm a lawyer. I got trial in the morning. And I'm condensing the story, to, so what time y'all going to leave the club? And to, I can't wait to get in y'all hot tub. It's like, girl, you.
Did he go back? Did he go back?
Hell no. Because he went from delightfully tipsy.
You playing. You fucking playing.
No, girl. He went from delightfully tipsy to completely fucked up and about to be choked out by Orion in Hunters in 45 minutes. Well, like, at some point, Orion was like, get away from me. It was, because he was really trying it at some point. So like, while he's getting progressively drunker and more belligerent, I'm looking at Orion. I was like, I'm gonna fuck you up when we get home, right? I'm going to fuck you up. And then so he would say something. He was like, well, if you was a real man, he was like, listen, I'm a good bitch. I can take whatever you can dish out. And he was like, yeah, you know what? I could do you. And meanwhile, I'm like, sit down. I'm saying to the dude, sit it down. Yes, he was a lot. Friday,
So no one got his card, right? He didn't know who all y'all are. Y'all don't have to look forward to him trying to reach out to y'all.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I gave him my card.
You have fun with that.
I can block that bitch. I mean, he probably lost the card or whatever.
Hey, I'm looking out for y'all.
I'm gonna be like, when he calls, and his name, of course, is Travis. And so when if and when he calls, I'm gonna be like, I don't know that. I'm gonna be like, who is this?
Travis.
Oh yeah,
I don't
block.
Yeah.
So yes, we'll that'll be easy enough to deal with. So Friday, we people went about their own devices a bit, and I decided it was time for for a whole night.
Yeah, so, you did have like the Les Sex Club Chronicles.
Les Sex Club.
Les Sex Club.
So there are three observations that I make. First of all, I've told you about the way Les Sex Club is laid out. There's all sorts of rooms and stuff, but the favorite room is the orgy room where they have the big round padded platform. And there were pass around party bottoms, cum dumps, slammers. It's called slammers.
I haven't been to that. Okay. I was like, I haven't been to that one. Okay.
But there's cum dumps stationed all around this platform. So there's like maybe 12 cum dumps around the platform. And
okay. Wait a minute. You all can call in and ask questions. Like, this is the time for you all to call in.
Yes,
I want
please.
You all to know.
240-719-2560.
So you can call in and ask questions about anything. So at any time. So please feel free to call.
So, I come in and I survey the room because, I do stick my dick in any hole, but, not immediately. I wanted to...
So
classy. Exactly.
Just so classy.
So I wanted to survey the room, and I noticed that there were people who were just literally fucking everyone in turn, but there was one person that nobody was fucking, and I don't know why, because he had a nice body.
Crazy.
Listen,
and shit on the kids.
Right.
They know.
And that was it, because I'm like, not that you have to choose a particular body type, but. He was, he was not very skinny. He just had a nice little body.
Right.
There were bodies of all types. So people were there was at least 3 or 4 dudes. Was like, I'm gonna fuck you. 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 Not you. I'm gonna fuck you. I'm gonna fuck you. I'm gonna fuck you. I'm gonna fuck you. And everybody was passing him by. So I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
She a little crazy or she shitty? She got shitty kitty. So it's one of the two.
Right. So, however, whatever.
More than likely, she got shitty kitty.
Right. Whatever it is, I was like, I'm out.
And there's probably no shower. She didn't take none. So whatever she got going on, probably still smell like shit.
Right.
Shitty kitty. But that's just my opinion.
So,
that's just my
observation number 2. There's always the lurker at Les Sex Club.
Listen.
And the lurker is the one that waits for you to get it in, and while you are getting it in,
they get in their life watching and trying to sneak on the slide.
I'm fine with you
I have a problem
looking.
With that. I have a problem with
My problem is, so I'm going to touch you but not.
No. If you're looking at anything, you're participating, and that's it.
So so finally, after making sure to avoid the
Shitty kitty,
the leper or whatever the fuck was wrong with him,
Shitty kitty.
I found the first person that I'm going to fuck, and so while I'm fucking, I feel this hand like on my. I know you like it. I got magic fingers. You like that, didn't you?
I just feel violated just in the idea. Like,
yeah. And I'm like, so then while I'm thrusting in and out of this person, I feel his hands on my balls, and I'm like, go. So I'm like, the fuck? And he was doing that to like.
Name? I mean, you would grab a like.
And here's the thing.
You just grab a ball? Like you like,
it wasn't
a name?
No.
Or? Okay. Well,
he wasn't.
Like
he wasn't even Le Sex Club fuckable. Because listen, there are people that you'll date, people that you'll fuck, and people that you'll be like, well, it's a sex club. Their hole is available, so let's do this. He was not in any of those categories. He wasn't even in a like if you ever go to the big boy parties where there's like the Jabba the Hutt that's sitting on the edge of the bed and just sucks every random dick that comes by.
Yep.
He was about like that. And it didn't have anything to do with the fact that he was a big dude, but he just looked. He just looks. He just looked. So that was don't be that bitch. Observation, sex club, Le Sex Club observation number 3. I'm going to speak to all of you who profess to be tops. I still you and you. And you. I need you to clean your ass. If you need to douche, that's fine. But at a minimum, you need to let hot water and soap not just hit the side, but you need to like get to second base on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You need to be clean because with every clap, you will just fanning that unwashed booty funk into the room. And it's 1 billion people in there, so it's already, and it's Florida, so it's already hot.
Yeah.
And so what we don't need is to feel
hot booty funk
or smell hot booty funk, in the room. So those are my sex club, Le Sex Club observations. So that was, the body count was 3. Then I met a dude.
All weekend or just for that one evening?
That was that one evening.
I was like, you are getting old and you're slowing down. What is wrong with you?
We also went to the beach and did other stuff too. It's what Fort Lauderdale is one of them places like it's like everywhere. Such a buffet till you like
y'all went to Haulover Beach?
No, we didn't need to because we got a pool and hot tub there. But we did go to the beach right down the street because Orion hadn't been. Because the last time he was there, him and Elimination didn't get to go to the beach because it was raining hard the whole weekend. So, but we didn't need to go to Haulover Beach because we had a pool and a hot tub where we could be.
It's the clothing optional beach, and I like that one.
But that was too far of a drive, and then we were having periods of intermittent rain. So we went to the beach that was right down the streets because if it rained, we hadn't really invested in like an hour to get there and then an hour to get back. So, Sunday night, I was chatting with this guy.
Not top booty crust.
Exactly. And he was going to, this dude wanted me to come over and do all this stuff. And he was hot and heavy in, borderline, like pressed, like for me to come over, but he was cute. So I was letting it slide. But then, so we were supposed to hook like 9 p.m. So when I got home, when I finally woke up from my nap and everything, it was like 5 after 9, or it was like 8:45. I was like, so I'm not going to be there at 9. So I was like, as soon as I can be there at 9:30. He was like, that's fine, or 10 o'clock is even fine. So here's my thing. I always ask for the address up front because see, to me that's like if you bullshitting, then you don't give your address out. And so he didn't give me his address right away. So I'm just sitting there chilling. I eventually pulled out my, I had a couple of more donuts and some ice cream. And so I was about to be like, ain't nothing happening. Then he messaged me at like 9:45. Because remember, I'm supposed to be there at his place at 10 o'clock. Then he calls. He's like, yeah, I gotta go help my boss, with some shit, plywood, storm, and he had like an accident, so I like barely understood what the fuck he was saying. But I understood the language of love, meaning I wanted to get my booty banged out. So I understood all of that. But now he was like, it'll take me like 30 minutes maximum. That hoe called me like 11:05. By that time, I had eaten, I had several big scoops of ice cream, and I was 100% over it at that point. So I was like, he was like, are you still coming over? And I was like,
no.
Because finally at 11:05, he sent me his address. So I feel like he, got some pre-dick and wanted some more dick or whatever. But now it's like an hour and a half since we were supposed to have met up.
And it's 11 o'clock.
Right. So I was like, I'm not coming over. And then he was like, really? And I was like, no, whatever. But then some other dude hit me up on Scruff. It's a cute little 50-year-old white guy, like this tall.
I like the pocket gays.
Yeah, he was definitely a pocket gay. And he had a nice hairy front, nice smooth ass, and I wore him the fuck out.
He came to you. Mm-hmm. See, that's even better.
And see, that's what I did. And so, right, I had to get dressed. I had to do nothing.
Like, I'm just here. If you come in and it's you.
Right, and I was like, well, let me take a shower. He was like, don't take a shower. Whatever you do, don't take a shower. I was like, even better. I could show up with my whole day funky ass and everything. So, he loved all of that. And so my body count for the weekend overall was 4. So.
Okay.
And I was there for 4 days. So my flight, but Sunday while we were at brunch, my flight got canceled for Monday because one of our brothers works at Fort Lauderdale Airport, not for an airline, but actually for the airport. And so, he got called away during our brunch to, because they had like conference calls and stuff. And he was like, yeah, the airport is going to close tomorrow at noon. And the moment he said that, I got an email update from Southwest. Your flight has been canceled. Like, so I called, I booked on a flight that would have just been getting back like 6 o'clock today.
Okay.
But then when they reopened when we found out from him that the airport was going to be reopened at noon on Tuesday, that Monday night after the date left, I called Southwest because I knew if I waited, my ass would have been out of luck. So I finally caught a flight Tuesday, so we just spent the extra day in Paradise.
Did you want to catch was it a direct flight, or did you have to do a layover somewhere?
No, I was willing to wait because our flight didn't leave until like 8 o'clock yesterday evening because that was the last direct flight.
Okay.
Because with all this hurricane and shit,
just get me home safely. I don't care.
Get me home safely, but get me home safely with all of my shit. And my thing is working for the airport now. I see how they do with these tilt trays and how the more people handle your bag, the more it's got to move from path to path. Mm-hmm. The more chance it'll get lost. So I wanted to put my bags on one plane and then get the fuck off, and my luggage come with me.
And I always realize that I always talk about if there's a layover, if that layover is anything less than an hour and a half, I'm so evil and worried that my bags are not going to make it.
Yeah.
2 hours, I'm good. Hour and a half, nope, it's not.
What I like about, I think United does this, and I know Delta does it. If you have the Delta app, you'll get like a push notification when your baggage is on the plane because they scan each bag. So the last time I flew Delta, I'm sitting in my seat and I got a pop-up notification. Your bag,
I don't think I've ever seen
your bags are. Well, I was in first class, so who knows.
Oh yeah, well, I don't.
But I honestly don't think it was that. I think it because it didn't appear to be like a special notification.
Yeah, no, I mean,
it was
you
just
sign up for it, but still,
I didn't even sign up for it. It just seemed to be what it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even.
And
I can't remember the last time I flew Delta.
I think it's probably because I had the app and I checked in on the app and did everything, and so they were able to associate that. So yeah, so I like that. So that gives you some guarantee that your bags are there with you.
Okay.
So overall, we had an absolutely wonderful time. Like I said, if no one had told you it was a hurricane coming, you would have just thought it was a rainy Florida day. We got in the hot tub and the pool every day. It didn't really impact anything that we were planning to do because I really had no interest in going to All Over Beach. Not because I don't want to go, but you go to All Over Beach because it's a nice area where you can get in the pool and a hot tub. Well, you can get in the ocean and it's warm and you can be naked.
Right.
But you get all of that by the pool and you ain't got to drive an hour, find a place to park, Get an umbrella and all of that.
Some of the sites are actually good on Halloween.
Some of the sites are quite festive.
Yeah, that's the first.
I do go every now and again.
I think I've seen every body piercing I'd ever thought about getting on people that day at the beach.
And
so it was really nice.
This is, not the body shame at all, but whatever it is that you think is wrong with your body, if you think you're too skinny, there's somebody skinnier on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
If you think you're too fat to take all your clothes off at the beach, there is somebody way fatter than you on the beach. And just walking around, just living their fucking life. Yeah, so what you realize is that, yes, people are looking, but only the kind of people who would like really comment and be shady wouldn't come to that kind of beach because you're not. It's not yes, some occasionally people do carry on, but 90 to 95% of the people are not carrying on.
Bring that number down a little bit. It's probably not 90-95% of people. It's probably more like 70.
Out in the open. Now, because I have stayed there at dusk and carried.
It's a whole different, yes.
Yes, at dusk. And so, that number does go down because we're not counting the people that are carrying in the water.
And or the bushes that you actually walk over towards.
Yes. So 65% of the people, but even those people aren't there. No, I've never been there a single time and had people be like, look at his fat ass. I mean, I've never heard anything like that. So I would encourage everyone to go to do that. Well, and we're already planning for next year for a more fabulous abode, and you're coming.
So, yes, we'll talk about that. Mm-hmm. So we had the opportunity. Our bar night was Friday night, which was actually really well. It went really well.
Oh, good, because I forgot to ask you about that.
Yeah, it went really well. We were down to Green Lantern. It was actually well attended. Mm-hmm. We can always have more people, but it was well attended. So thanks to everybody. Thanks to all the brothers that came out and all the people that came out to support us. So we really appreciated you guys coming out and having a good time. So
yes.
We look forward to future events with you guys coming out. We made a cute little coin, and so
that's good.
But anyway, on Monday we were able to go to on Sunday they had the House Music Festival in Baltimore.
I am so mad. That was the one thing that I'm mad that I missed this weekend.
But then on Monday was the House Music in Malcolm X Park in D.C.
Trevor posted that, and I was like, them bitches was getting their fucking life. I was so mad.
So we were out there. So we decided to catch an Uber from 007s. So 007, Deviant, and myself, we go.
Hey Romulan,
we head out to the park. We get out to the park and we're out there, and I bumped into Boss, and so I told you the guy that was with Boss was like, hey, he was like, look at my weather thing is showing it's supposed to rain in like 15 minutes. I was like, whose weather thing is that accurate? And I was like, okay, well, whatever. Thanks for the information. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, I'm sitting there probably about maybe 20, 25 minutes. It was like we felt the first couple drops of sprinkles.
And then all of a sudden.
And I was like, no, but it wasn't. So at that point, it was like 007 and Deviant was like, well, we out of here. And I was like, okay. So I was, you stand there. It's that pre-music that kind of gets you a little, get you a little amped up, but not really amped. Mm-hmm. And so, but you know how I get when I get amped up, like, get out of my way. So I was just I wasn't quite amped. So I was like, oh, it's raining. We said if it's raining, we're going to leave. And I was like, all right, fine. So we decided to walk from that side of the park to the other side of the park to get to the car and then go down the stairs and jump in the car and leave. Baby, by the time I got to the other side of the park, all I heard was dun, dun. I was like, ah!
You run back.
But I was like, no! But I was riding with the three of us, so I was like, okay. I was like, come on.
How long did y'all stay?
We were out there for probably maybe 2.5, maybe 3 hours.
That's still a good little bit
but the music was just starting to get good.
Right.
So, but it was good. Seeing a bunch of faces I hadn't seen in a minute. Mm-hmm. This is going to sound so awful when I say this, but I saw some people where I was like,
you're still alive?
Like, that was kind of the look on my face, but I was kind of like, I'm glad to see you. And then somebody else was like, it's just good to see you. And I'm like, well, it's good to see you too, boo. Like, well,
God bless your ministry, ho.
So, but it was a fun time. Shout out to Deviant and Double. Oh, and also, our brother is now, he has a new thug in his life.
Who?
Deviant.
Oh.
I'm sorry, he got a new piece of trade in his life.
Oh.
He got a new trade in his life.
Oh.
When you see him, ask him about the trade in his life.
I will. I will probably see him this weekend at some point.
Yes.
If not, I'll just text him and say,
ask
what about the trade?
Right, ask about the trade. But other than that, it was a great weekend.
Good.
Ugly Mug was fun. We did karaoke there. Mm-hmm. It was really fun. Had a good time. Their wings.
At the Ugly Mug, are they good?
They have these boneless wings. Mm-hmm. There's no need to even order a separate small order. Just order the big one. Thank you, Ugly Mug.
All right, well then I'll go to Ugly Mug just so I can get these fucking wings.
Thank you, Ugly Mug.
Because right now my new favorite spot, any time of the day or night,
is
Nando Peri Peri.
Really?
Really, I love their boneless chicken breast with the spicy garlic sauce and the macho peas.
The peas.
I love it with the mint and the. They are delicious to me. And I love the hummus. The hummus when the hummus is warm and you put the little spicy sauce on it with some cucumbers and vegetable slices. That is delicious to me.
Listen, I'm here for it, the healthiness of it, but the peas. Nope.
Sorry. All right, so Steel Toe is going to join us next week to talk about the Leather Heart Foundation auction. We're running short, so we'll talk about that. We got a lot to talk about.
Well, yes, we do. We can jump in. Yeah.
Yeah, we got this and this.
We do, but
this I don't really care about. But I didn't see this yet.
It comes out. We'll get to that.
Okay, all right. So, Leather Heart Foundation. The Leather Heart Foundation provides emergency relief funds for members of the kink BDSM community in times of need. Applicants can receive financial support for medical, legal, and other emergencies like a rent crisis or natural disaster. Members of the community donate to ensure that when someone needs support, it's there.
And the Souls with Heart volunteer program is comprised of bootlegs who collect, restore, and sell leather goods to support the Leather Heart Foundation, as well as spreading the word about how people can support or provide support. And it's directed by Bumper Bootleg. Steel Toe the Bootleg has been volunteering since the beginning of the year, and this is going to be his first fundraiser for the organization. Now, to learn more about the Leather Heart Foundation, you go to the leatherheart.org website to find out about the leather auction, which actually the preview started as of the 1st. Mm-hmm. The live bidding starts on September 8th, and then Steel Toe is going to be on the show to talk about the auction itself on the 11th.
Yes.
So next Wednesday. But in order to view the things that are on the that are up for sale, you can go to www.32.auctions.com/SWH_fall_auction 2019. That I'm sure that's a lot, and I will repeat it, but it's www.32.auctions.com/S as in Sam, W as in whiskey, H as in Hydra, _fall_auction 2019.
Bam. So let's see what's happening here.
Let's mention some of the other stuff before we get to, because we're going to be talking about this.
We're going to talk about this one and the second story too.
So Dave Chappelle, his new Netflix special.
I'm over her now.
Did you see it?
No.
Oh my God!
I have no interest in watching.
No, you listen. I'm sorry. Let me back up. Dave Chappelle. This is his 5th Netflix special, I think it is.
Something like that.
There's been so much flack on Facebook about this special. People are calling him a homophobe, they're calling him a transphobe, they're calling him this, they're calling him that. I am encouraging you to go and watch this movie, because it is this stand-up routine. It is probably one of those things where if you like Dave Chappelle, you'll love everything about this, because his humor is everything. Even when he had the Chappelle Show, I wasn't really a fan of him because my maturity level, my humor wasn't there. This is everything now that's going on. And when I say he is an equal opportunity make fun of, so all the flack that people have been talking about, saying he's transphobic and this, that, and the other. Listen, it is comedy, people. Comedy. And there's a time and place and a context in which you do all things. For me, I thought it was funny. For some, you might be upset, but I'm looking at it as just comedy. That's just my thing. But I am going to say, if you ask me, I say go and watch it. I'm going to recommend that you actually take a look at it. I'm just saying. I don't think you will not be entertained.
I'm sure there will be parts that I laugh at. But I just think that, like sexual abuse is like a thing. And
everything that he mentions was a thing. And there's a weight, and all of it carries a weight and a stigma with all of those things. However, I think that, and this is just my opinion, I believe that there are some people many people who get through trying times with comedy.
Yeah,
some levity to a situation, I should say.
And for me, in order for me to find it redeeming, you have to say something, even if it's like for shock value, and then bring it back to some sort of a salient point. You just can't say Michael Jackson accuses, I don't believe these motherfuckers, but then you got to bring it back somehow.
So, I believe you, and I understand what you're saying. Not that I didn't believe you. I understand what you're saying, but as you watch the show, you will miss that if you're not paying attention, because he does do that with the majority of the stuff that he talks about.
All right, I'll check it out.
So that's just my.
It's on Netflix, so that'll give me a moment.
That's my recommendation
to check it out. Garcelle Beauvais and who the fuck is Sutton Strack?
Right, exactly. Let's be clear.
Of course, we know who Garcelle Beauvais is. She's going to be on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And it's like, all right.
So listen, for those of you that don't remember, she was on the Jamie Foxx show. She played his
Fancy?
love interest. I think her name was
Fancy or something like
and
that?
she was also in Coming to America as well. She was one of the
flower.
one of the flower women.
I also remember her as she was in the video with R. Kelly and Ronald Isley. Remember, she was Down Low. She was the chick that R. Kelly was having the affair with, and he right. And then at some point, exactly, and like she was having an affair with R. Kelly, and then Ronald Isley found out, and she got beat up. But before she got beat up in the video, she was just I just always thought of her like as like if I ever was with a woman, she might be one of the ones that I was like, I just thought she was just so beautiful.
She's a beautiful woman.
So beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, she's a beautiful woman. I always thought Kenya Moore was beautiful until I started listening to her personality. I did. I thought she was attractive.
I didn't really know much about her. And here's Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore got bad skin.
But again,
so from a distance, which
she looked great.
We're done with that.
Okay.
So from a distance, I mean, from the stage
and
with
in
makeup
1990 or whatever that was.
She
was beautiful.
Ago.
I was like, okay, I thought she was a beautiful woman.
Yeah. So Hustlers, has that come out yet?
It comes out on the 13th. And I am excited about
Oh, good.
this.
I can go see that while I'm in Durham for the wedding.
Yeah. We're back at this wedding thing again?
We are.
Mike, we're back at this wedding.
We are back at the wedding.
Mike, I hope you are watching this. I hope you have an enjoyable wedding.
I'm sure he is. He ain't thinking about you.
I'm just saying.
All right, so Dave Chappelle. All right, so now I saw this earlier, and I said we definitely need to talk about this. So conversion therapy, the headline is Conversion Therapy Group Founder Comes Out as Gay and Apologizes. The founder of one of the nation's largest conversion therapy program, who spent decades leading the organization, now says he is gay, apologizing for his role in the practice. His name is McCray Game, who founded and led Hope for Wholeness in South Carolina, publicly announced he was gay in early June, more than 2 years after the organization's board of directors abruptly fired him. I'm not going to read through all of this bullshit that he said, but I am not a fan usually of public shunning, but we shun this girl.
Let me tell you something.
Listen, I feel like that episode of Will and Grace where Elton John was on there. It was like, you keep fucking around and I will ban you from every gym.
The gay mafia. Let me tell you something.
The gay mafia
is
needs
real.
to get it together and ban this girl from every circuit party.
Y'all know who Kim Burrell is or who she was?
Right.
Exactly. Gay mafia.
Right. Y'all need to ban this girl from every gym, every Six Club, every Pride, every IML, MAL, every gay cruise, everything. Shun this girl. Fuck her. Because here's the thing. He's, for me,
letter G on his.
He always knew he was gay. This isn't, I would have more sympathy for him if he was like a 22-year-old who was like a counselor and came out as gay. This dude is 51 years old.
Yeah.
And so he ain't just discovered he was gay last year. He was hypocritically taking these poor young men, women, and gender non-conforming people who were maybe not, they probably weren't confused about who they were. Their parents were confused, and society didn't make a place for them. And he knew that what he was touting was bullshit.
And you are adding to the almost 750,000 people that have been put through some sort of conversion therapy,
right?
Which is ridiculous in and of itself,
and
absolutely ridiculous.
So to me, I could even be willing to forgive him if he was. Well, here's the thing: if he was straight and said, after years of meeting these kids, I realized that there is nothing wrong with them. There's no need for conversion therapy. He was sitting in the chair, telling these kids that they're terrible when he all the time should have been on the same side with them. So, to me, there's no epiphany. And let me tell you why his ass got fired. Now, this is purely speculation on the part of Dominion Onyx. But if his ass did not resign and he abruptly got fired, he was caught doing something with one of these kids that he wasn't supposed to be doing if they supposed to be in this ex-gay or conversion therapy movement. I guarantee you. Because there's no way that if he had been in this movement for decades and been in this organization and the board just abruptly fires him after 2 years, he did some shit that they're keeping under the cover, and whoever did it, whoever he did it to got some sort of a payoff. And listen, I'm not even mad at you, girl. Get your coin. Get out of this. I hope you were happy and gay and, found some legitimate therapy that helped you work through whatever issues that you were working. I'm talking about the person that he molested, allegedly, that I just made up. I have no idea. But what other reason do you think there would be for him to abruptly be dismissed from an organization that he was a part of for decades?
I don't fucking care. I think what I'm more so concerned about is the fact that this man has had these people go through this program that have had these thoughts, these fears that I'm sure that this grown 51-year-old man has had at some particular point, and he has pressed on and preyed on them and actually used this to their advantage or to his advantage to actually make that person feel worse. That's the part that I'm stuck on.
And that's the part that I'm stuck on. It's the same thing as, a young gay man going to his pastor
to
and
ask
saying
for guidance,
and next thing you know, he's
being molested.
Right, So to me, this is just as bad as that, because again,
or being shunned and told that you are absolutely wrong, you're an abomination, and you need to kill yourself.
And I'm the only person that you can talk. It's classic molestery, victim blaming behavior by isolating these people in this conversion therapy center and location, and then now you're taking advantage of. Again, I have no concrete proof that he molested anybody. This is merely circumstantial evidence based on not my personal experience, but what I've observed about just things in general. Anytime, gay, straight, any sort of organization, when you've been if you're a politician and you just resign out of the blue,
you're
after 30 years of being, the senator from South Carolina. I'm just making up a state. If you, even though that is the state that Lindsey Graham is the senator from, I swear to God, that's not where I was going with it. But if you were the senator for 30 years and now all of a sudden you just out of the blue resign, I'm going to think you did something. And I'm like, well, we just need to wait for the news cycle to hit, because in the next... Are we placing the bet that there's going to be somebody that's going to come to the forefront and say that they were molested? Oh, most definitely. Because now that the story is out, because a lot of times these hush money agreements stipulate that neither party can talk about the shit.
That's true.
And but once the molester or whoever is to blame talks about it, then you usually feel free to talk about it. And when they say we want our money back, well, be like, well, he talked about it first. So I think now, because that happened 2 years ago in June
of 2017 that he was fired, but we haven't heard about this story until now. And he has made a Facebook post talking about all of this stuff. So now that opens the door, and I encourage you now, whoever this young boy is or man, I definitely won't shun you because you're 100% the victim.
Or gender nonconforming person.
You are 100% of the victim in this case. So
listen,
I would love to hear what you guys think. Again, feel free to call in now or anytime, 240-719-2560. Or, hit us on Facebook or whatever to hear what you guys think about it.
For me, again, you are one of the therapy leaders. Mm-hmm. And I find that
it's an abuse of trust.
It's very abusive. It's very much so an abuse of trust. And you have manipulated someone. You have ruined someone's psyche almost. Several people or several adults now.
Hey, Tyra, we love you, love. I know you got a lot going on with your life, and, we are here for you, and thank you for tuning in. We love you, baby.
Yes, Tyra, and you are friends with someone that I know very well, and we'll talk about that afterwards.
Yeah.
I can't remember right now, but anyway.
You were saying.
But yeah, I'm still stuck on that because again, that is the worst possible thing from a therapist perspective or from a therapy perspective. That person is in power. That's a complete and total abuse of power, and you have now scarred that particular person. And if he was leading these therapy sessions, which therapy sessions, number one, that's a joke. Because at some particular point, they were actually using electroshock therapy on these kids. No, in conversion therapy.
Yes, and I was going to get to that, but please.
Not this article. No, not on this article.
On that.
But,
they do torture, like you're waterboarding, people, all kinds of shit.
Have them to no longer be gay. Like you are becoming... You are making them a terrorist.
Shit.
Yeah, like you're believing that they're a terrorist, and you're trying to antagonize them to get information out of them. Not even antagonize them, but you're torturing them to get the information out of them, so that they will admit that they are no longer gay, or say that they're no longer gay, so that they can get out of this particular torture chamber. This, I would love to see how this will play out going forward if this man has children or someone else that's close to him, and he gets to watch this and see this to go through, see someone that he cares for.
I hope he doesn't have any children. I hope he has not visited his foolishness on any other generation. I hope his bloodline dies with him.
I don't know. I just don't know. But
his particular bloodline, I'm not casting any aspersions on anyone else in his family, but usually that kind of shit, it runs in family. So the rest of his family is probably like that too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just having a problem with that. So what's his name?
McCrae Game.
McCrae Game. Shame on you.
And I'm
shunning you.
You know who that sounds? That sounds like a character from like The Bold and the Beautiful.
McCrae Game.
Yes. Starring Dexter Malloy as McCrae Game.
Yeah. He's played the conversion therapist that actually knew he was gay all along and wanted to come along and just play
exactly. So, right, or Dynasty, like on Dynasty, he tried to convert. Steven goes to conversion therapy.
Call his name.
McCrae Game. Exactly. And giving you the gayest face. Giving you the gayest face. Do it one more time. One more time. Starring Dexter Jones as McCrae Game. Exactly. That is the face.
Listen.
So we've got a few more minutes. So there's LeBron James has this online thing. I think it's online, or maybe it's on Netflix or something. Called it is about barbershops where people sit. Where mostly black men. I've not watched any episode, but I've read about this. You got any water?
Okay, come on.
Swallow some spit.
Keep going. I'm listening.
And so he has this show. It's set in the barbershop because allegedly this barbershop is a safe space. And so
this is the documentary?
I think so, or something. So it's LeBron, and in this particular one, it was several other Negroes, Kevin Hart, and they were interviewing Lil Nas X.
and it was about him being gay. And basically, they gaslighted this boy, and I've not seen it, but from the description of it, they said Lil Nas.
Lil Nas
okay, just let it go. Just let it go. It's a generational thing. Let it go. Why has everybody got to be Lil? He just couldn't be Nas. Okay, Lil Nas X. I'm just going to, he's on the show talking about, and then he was like
Lil Bow Wow, Lil Romeo.
Yeah, but not as cute. That's a whole separate issue for me. Because I just don't see it. I feel like he's cute because he's famous. But if he was like Lil Nas, the mailman, you'd just be like, fuck away from me, Lil Nas.
Like Lil Mama.
Exactly. But
I'm dying here.
he would he's talking about, he's telling his truth, his journey, and they're almost like badgering and haranguing this young brother about, why he felt it was important to come out. And he was like, well, when you grow up in the hood, or why didn't he feel safe? It's like when you're growing up in the hood, you hear all this kind of stuff. And, once he got into a position of power, he wanted to come out. And then Kevin fucking Hart, the one that said that he would kill his son if his son turned out to be gay. He was like, but why is it important for you to come out? What is there for you to be afraid of?
Wait a minute.
Fuck this dude.
Let me back up. Did Kevin Hart say he would kill his son, or did he say he would hit him over the head with a dollhouse?
No, he said he would kill his son.
Okay. I'm getting some contradicting. That's what I'm asking.
He may have also said that, but listen, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that he said that he would kill his son if he turned out to be gay. And my point here is that, you of all people would ask the question, well, why would you feel unsafe and why would you feel the need to be public about it? Well, you just said you would kill your son, and you say it jokingly, but all them motherfuckers in your audience that was laughing along with you were not joking. There's ample evidence that even in 2019 in the black community, there's plenty of men that would kill their son, not just for being gay, but for liking Barbie dolls or for crying too much or doing, not performing masculinity in the way that,
You just touched on something else. Here's another thing. I was having a conversation with another friend about this, about the whole masculine piece of growing up in the black community. You, as the male child, regardless of if you are gay or not, are still expected to continue on that legacy, to have that child, to make that line go on. Now, I will be very clear with, because I am the last of my clan. There's no more after me. I don't have any children. I think that is great. All of my gay children and my grandchildren.
It's called The Shop on HBO. Tyra Nicole said it. It says, swallow, Epic, swallow.
I'm trying to get it together. I am the last. So there are no more after me. There will never be any more after me. And it just is what it is. Now I have other siblings, and that's fine, but they are not a part of my clan.
Right.
So that's just it. But it's sad because I had the same conversation with somebody who's older than us that says, my dad is really disappointed that I didn't have any kids. And he said that to me. And I was like, how are you feeling? It's like, well, I feel like a disappointment. And I was like, you're a grown-ass man. How do you feel like a disappointment? But again,
I get that, though.
that sense of burden or that sense of responsibility that the family has put on you.
I felt that because I don't have any kids. And so, now that both of my parents are dead, and the unique blend that was, and I can't speak for my sister. So, but the unique blend that was Stephanie and Charles.
Right.
That's going to end.
Right.
With me. And my father never said anything about it, but I still felt the pressure. And again, zero from him, because he never was like, I wish I had some grandkids. Now, if my mother was alive, I 100% guarantee you I would have got that from her. But, I never did. But what was annoying to me was how, straight black men particularly are so blind to things. They talk about how the barbershop should be a safe space. And I was thinking about it because I saw this article on The Root. And I was like, you know what? Part of the reason
that I didn't go to the barbershop for 22 years.
The conversation.
Because I was like, I have no interest in sports. I have no interest in women. And we weren't just talking about how I like this woman. You know, sorry for the women who don't know that this goes on. I'm not there for conversations, the most crass conversations about pussy and whatever. Listen, we talk about gay shit all the time.
And we do.
I mean, I get that. So, you know, maybe it is a safe space for them, but it wasn't a safe space for anybody who wasn't down for that. Yeah. And so it was, you know, if you were gay or if you were a black man that didn't perform masculinity in the way that they thought, maybe you were like a sensitive artist type or whatever,
right.
Or you didn't care for like sports or to talk, you know, hotepery or all that other shit. And so that's why I stopped going. And the only reason I started going now is because I grew this beard. And 100%, if I hadn't met your barber, I probably would have cut that beard off after a while, because I was like, I don't want to, at this point in my life, I don't, and that's still its own issue, but it's not like it.
Shout out to my barber.
Right, but it's not like it was when I was a kid.
Right.
Because now, when they did go down this road of talking about how they, you know, one of the clients was having this conversation. He said some shit about, you know, Obama gonna go over to African countries and tell them to, you know, basically tell them to ban homosexuality and all this other shit. I was like, that absolutely did not happen.
Right, it never happened.
Because I'm 48 years old now, and I don't give a fuck, and I'll whoop your ass. I mean, a 12-year-old me couldn't have said the things that I said.
No, that's not quite right. Like,
right.
Sit your ass down.
Right, but now at 40 years old, I feel more confident. So yeah, that whole safe space bullshit is bullshit.
It was kind of rough. It was kind of rough as a kid, but it was a necessary evil.
Yeah. So, the BGKH show streams live on Wednesdays on www.voxwave.com from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern and 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific. Episodes are available on YouTube every Friday. Just search for Vox Power 373 and look for the BGKH show with Dominion and Epic. You can also find us on SoundCloud and iTunes by, again, searching for Vox Power 373 and looking for the BGKH show with Dominion and Epic. If you have some time, you're welcome to join us in the studio audience. We have room for 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, maybe 5, 6 if you go
7.
Yeah. 10 at the most.
If you come in there, we'll find a place for you.
Right. You know, it's like, you know how you go over to your grandma's house and you're like, just pull up a folder. Right. Sit on the edge.
Stand in the corner. Sit on the edge, right.
Don't you touch shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, and if you can't be on our audience, you're welcome to join us by calling in. And you can reach us at 240-719-2560. One more again. 240-719-2560. So, Epic, how can they get in contact with you?
So you can find me on Facebook if you search for Epic Onyx. You can also find me on Instagram at I am Epic Onyx. And you can also find me on Twitter at Epic Onyx1. How can I reach you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Your Love for Me Has Only Made Me Love Me More. .com. No. You can reach me on Twitter and Instagram at Dom Onyx, on Facebook at facebook.com/Dom Onyx and www.domonyx.com.
So next week, we will have a special guest calling in.
Yes.
And then the week after that, we are not going to be on the air. So we're going to be taking a little break because I got to go make money with the job that actually pays.
Make money.
Just a little, 27 cents, but I needed 27 cents. So.
Fuck bitches.
Right.
Get money.
But we had a good show tonight. So
yeah, it was good as usual.
Thank you all for listening, for viewing. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Say we're back into the fucking groove now, baby, now get it. Say we're back into the fucking groove now, baby, now get it. Say we're back into the fucking groove now, baby, now get it. Say we're back into the fucking